I'm just a sweet panvestite from pansexual Pennsylvania. Alright, guys. This shit has gotten completely out of control. I get that puberty is a really frustrating and confusing time for everyone, and now that alternative genders and sexualities are more acceptable, people are scrambling to figure out what label they fit into. That's all fine and well, except that for a lot of people, it becomes their entire identity. That's not what they mean by sexual or gender identity. It doesn't mean that if you are alternative, that becomes your identity. So many people substitute gender and sexual identities for their own personality, and it's pretty troubling. Not because I have anything against people of alternative gender or sexuality, but because the more humans label and segregate themselves, the more backlash and drama there is. True love is labelless. You can't really say you're gay, straight, bi, anything nowadays. Humans are just humans, they like what they like, whatever. Do we really need 100 different words for it?
Oi! Hello! My name is Jordan, and I'm a pedodendrophiliac.
You're what, mate?
I'm sexually attracted to saplings.
Saplings? What?
Yeah, you know, baby trees. They get me so hot.
So are you a guy or a girl?
What? You DTF, bro?
What? What? No, I just didn't understand your gender from that label. And please, stay away from my thug life bush. Why does any of that even matter anymore? I mean, unless you want to bang someone and are having your own personal sexuality crisis, does it really matter? Would it have mattered if David Bowie was a guy or a girl? Seriously, as far as I'm concerned, it's like some people are just so insecure about whether or not people will love them for who they are. They put up this giant gay bat signal. Like a fuck calling card.
Look how gay I am. I'm so sexually open that everything I talk about is related to my trisexual queerness.
In hopes that people will approach them knowing they have a corresponding sexual orientation, which should increase their likelihood of fucking by at least 50%. There are billions of people on the planet, and life is short. If you're sexually attracted to someone, talk to them. It shouldn't matter if they're male or female, trans, bi, queer, pansexual, asexual, whatever. I mean, you don't ask every person you meet if they're a pedophile, do you? Nobody wants to fuck a pedophile, and yet it's not customary to ask.
Why, yes, you're quite sexually attractive. I would quite like to mate with you.
But first, you don't like fucking kids, do you? No? What the fuck? So why has it become so customary to even ask one's gender or orientation? If you've gotten so far as to talking to somebody new, that's half the battle. Feel it out, and chances are throughout the conversation, you'll figure out the situation. And if it doesn't suit your preference, what did you lose? 5 minutes getting to know another human being? Has society really become that shallow and inconsiderate that the only reason to give anyone the time of day is if they would be somebody you'd fuck? After 5 minutes, you may find the person is quite interesting, and worth knowing whether you want to fuck them or not. Or maybe they're interesting enough you'll fuck them regardless. Alternative sexuality and gender is nothing new. Does nobody know what happened during the 60s? Is that too long ago to give a fuck anymore? I mean, I know 90s music is now considered classic, and that makes me feel old. It also makes me wonder why there's such a nationwide obsession with labeling and organizing everyone. I know people are like herds of sheep. Religious sects even refer to their followings as flocks for fuck's sake. People have openly and happily practiced free love for centuries. Look back to Roman times, bathhouses. Only now, the 19th century, and more so in the last couple decades, have we started focusing more and more on what other people are doing in the privacy of their own homes. Are people that afraid to be their actual selves that they now use sexual identity as a mask? People waste so much time talking about it, identifying themselves, that they forget to actually live life. They spend all that time trying to fit whatever they've chosen as their identifier that they lose sight of who they are as a human. So many empty vessels, covered in rainbows and sparkles. You are intelligent and well-aware human beings. You do not have the need to act like a bunch of peacocks, trying to out-queer one another. It's so primitive and superficial. I get it. Everyone is dying to be unique, just like everybody else. The less time you spend on tweaking your outward behavior and appearance, perhaps you'll absorb some shit, like knowledge and information. Don't get me wrong, there are some really good channels out there that are simply informative, and I'm sure do help many young people nowadays, in ways that people didn't have access to, say, 10, 15 years ago. I'm not ripping on channels that are simply a transition blog or an information channel. Many of these channels document their experiences, and once the process is complete, they continue their channel on an individual level, their hobbies, band, art, etc. You're allowed to have a life that isn't completely dedicated to LGBTQ XYZ. And what's the deal with gay pride parades anyways? I have no idea what walking around with your tits or dick out has to do with pride. I went to a parade one time when I was in high school, and I was just disgusted. A bunch of people on drugs, snorting and selling coke right on the corner of the street, dicks painted up like Easter eggs with "end body shame" written on their backs. Like, what? What the fuck does that have to do with gay pride? Titties and thongs everywhere. And I mean, I appreciate a nice set of tits and a tight ass, but people bring their children to these events. Almost every fetish, as far as the eye can see, everyone using it as an excuse to basically do what they do in the bedroom, in public, on the street. The bondage is real. Not to mention, nobody has a concept of personal space. I could let one butt grab slide, but my ass was Pinch City. Guys, girls, and everything in between. That would not be okay if straight people behaved that way in public. If there was a straight parade with whatever is deemed as straight fetishes on display, people running around grabbing each other's shit, it just wouldn't be okay. If a straight guy even so much as takes a piss within the vicinity of a playground, even if it's 3 a.m., can be charged and placed on a child sex offender list. Yet there are parks all over the world that are known as gay hotspots, where people go to hook up with new people and fuck in the bushes. But wouldn't want to interfere with that, wouldn't want to appear intolerant and phobic.
Now, I'm going to put the glass tube into Mr. Slave's tight ass. The heat from Mr. Slave's ass will act as our new conductor of energy. Okay, now, Butters, could you bring over Lemmy Winks for me, please? Newton was the first to discover that for every action there is a reaction. Thank you, Butters. Now, what do you think is going to happen when I introduce the element of the gerbil to the endothermic heat of Mr. Slave's ass? Well, let's see.
Jesus Christ.
Lemmy Winks? No! Chef, we're intolerant.
Intolerant of who?
Gays, I guess.
Now, why do you want to go be intolerant of gay people, children? I thought you knew better.
Well, we didn't think we were, but Mr. Garrison has this new assistant and we're really uncomfortable around them.
Children, a lot of times, the reason people get uncomfortable around gay people is that they have some issues themselves. You have to ask yourself, what is it about their behavior that for some reason makes me uncomfortable?
Well, I guess it's mostly the way Mr. Garrison stuck a gerbil at Mr. Slave's ass.
Right. And you see, children, that's why you need to... Whoa! What?
Are we homophobes now? We don't want to be gay bashers, Chef.
Mr. Garrison, to the principal's office, please.
That's it! They're going to fire me for being gay! 25 million, here we come!
Don't forget I get half. Ooh. Ooh, Jesus Christ.
You wanted to see me, Principal Victoria?
Oh, yes, Mr. Garrison, have a seat.
Oh dear, sounds like I'm getting fired.
Mr. Garrison, Chef has brought it to my attention that some students are a bit uncomfortable about certain aspects of your teaching methods.
Oh no, you're firing me? Oh well, I can't stop being who I am. I can't help the way God made me. Guess I just have to go.
No, we're not firing you.
You're not?
No, we're sending Chef to a tolerance seminar.
Sending Chef to a tolerance seminar? You got to be fucking crazy.
You've demonstrated a lack of tolerance for Mr. Garrison's behavior. In fact, I believe you used the words sick queer to describe his conduct in class.
He is a sick queer.
Yeah!
I just wanted to give you an opportunity to apologize to Mr. Garrison before I sent you away, Chef.
Kiss my black ass.
Straight people know how to get just as filthy, but in the privacy of their homes, reserved for swingers parties and orgies. Threesomes and all kinds of fun things have been happening for thousands of years, and no one felt the need to put any labels or cause any fuss about any of it until everyone started making a fuss and needing labels and equal rights. Who wants to get married anyways? Are people not aware of the benefits of not getting married? You can be committed to somebody without ever having to drop thousands of dollars and tie your taxes and everything together. It's like entrapment. If you don't feel secure being with somebody without the paperwork and rings, why are you marrying them in the first place? Oh, well, we don't want our soon-to-be-born kid to be a bastard. Well, fuck. Who even fucking cares? Lots of kids out there are a lot worse off. Oh, but the image. Must maintain some kind of image. Show those straight people they can be the same. Why? Who says they're fucking doing it right? Divorce is at an all-time high. 16 and pregnant is a huge, long-running franchise. And there are dumpsters specifically set up for people to put their freshly born babies into anonymously that people go around and collect said babies and absorb them into the already failing system. Or they harvest their organs and sell them on the black market, like those abortion facilities. But who cares, right? Look at the Duggar family. Super religious, all-American, straight white family. And one of their eldest sons molested a bunch of his sisters and also regularly cheats on his wife. So why can't these alternative genders just find a better way? We're letting go of age-old traditions left, right, and center. Religion is no longer serving us, people are getting smarter, and realizing government and media are not there to help you. They don't want you to see the bigger picture. They prefer humans to remain divided, fueling race wars and terrorist propaganda. Nothing has changed for decades, other than the fact that humans have become more suppressed, more docile, more tranquilized by the overstimulus of information and new appealing ways to appear unique and stand out. Why would you want equal rights? No one is equal. There is no one general way that works for everyone. Same as there is no one magic pill for each thing that works for everyone. Oh, depression? Well, here's the one pill. It works for every man, woman, and child. No. They say, well, you may feel better, but you may also feel like killing yourself more than you did before you asked for help. You may also experience headaches, dizziness, nausea, violent diarrhea, and blood seeping out of your eyes. And if that happens, we'll try a whole new round of pills. Great. So who says the one main way to do things is the right way? The best way. We are only specks. We are one solar system in one galaxy among thousands of galaxies in an enormous universe. Having pink hair and chains connecting piercings from your face to your dick, and identifying as a pansexual quadruped that drinks tea and studies the human anatomy is not going to make any difference. It will not make you any more or less special than anybody else. So I guess I get it. You're trying to escape the norm, be unique, but while still remaining equal. That just sounds like a lot of wasted energy to me. The richest humans on the planet dress the most simple. They drive simple cars. They keep it simple. The less energy that's focused on image and standing out, the more time you have to learn, create, grow, achieve, and succeed. Create a new, better way than what our parents left us and what their parents left them. Be unique by not being a sheep. Stop confusing sexual identity and personal identity. There is a great big world out there, with so many bigger impending issues at the forefront. There are child sex abuse rings among the wealthy. Everything is controlled by a small handful of companies. Our food, water, medicine, education, even Facebook. Yes, Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg's real name is Jacob Greenberg, who is the grandson of David Rothschild. You really think he was a bored college dropout? Where do you think that private bank contribution of $500 million came from? Everything at the mercy of a small number of families and enterprises, who are greedy warmongers, who see each and every one of you as a number. A bank account number, a social security number, or insurance number, an employee number. You are literally nothing to them. And you've been enslaved in such a way that you actually think you're exercising free will. There are a lot better ways to stand out and be a positive role model for generations to come. Do we really want people to look back 100 years from now and see how obscenely gay and weird looking everyone was? Or do you want them to see the changes we made to help create more freedom for tomorrow? The internet is a smorgasbord of information, just dying to be consumed. Please do that, people, and stop creating a whole big ordeal over basic human nature. Natural instincts. Monkeys don't give a shit if you're a guy, a girl, or for it, against it. They fuck all across the sexual orientation spectrum. But then they also fling shit at each other. So how can we become so advanced, but let go of the natural instincts that aren't hurting anybody, or involving the flinging of poop? Thank you for watching, guys, especially if you made it this far. I know this was quite the rant, and although I still left out a lot of points, it will have left many people offended and butthurt in its wake. Fuck 'em. If you don't give a shit what people do behind closed doors and are for a freer, more united tomorrow, hit that like button. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more cold hard truths. Don't forget, for every subscriber, a baby panda is saved.